Thank you everybody for coming out on a Sunday at 2 p.m. This is great. It's nice to know exactly where my career is. It's nice. I'm good enough to sell out, but just not at night. This is... give me a cheer if you're posh. Okay. Right, I was banking on that not getting a cheer, to be honest. It's kind of the rest of the show up. Huzzah! No, that's not good. Don't let them know where you are. Thank you for coming out. I've got a very posh crowd, which is a burden, but it's very useful. Thank you very much for coming. This has been a fun show to do. I did this show in Edinburgh, and that was tough because this is the least relatable comedy show ever written, according to all the reviewers. And it is. This makes Jack Whitehall look poor. This kind of show. And I am a very privileged person. If you don't know me, my name's Alfie Dundas. I am very privileged. I'm so privileged that I'm pretty bored, to be honest. And I'm now just like looking for trouble. I'll give you an example. I got an email from a school the other day, which was weird because I'm not a parent or a paedophile. And I printed it out for legal reasons. I received this last Monday. It said, "Dear Mr. Dundas, Barnabas has been set a break time detention today. Please talk to your child about why this detention has been set. Kind regards, the school," right? And then under the name of the school, it had a little Latin motto that said, "Tascendo Ignosimus," which, as we all know, translates to... Right. If you don't speak Latin, don't come to one of my gigs. Because you're not going to get it. Right. Who looks like you, sir? What's your name?
Oscar.
Oscar? I found one. I got one early. Oscar, how many middle names do you have?
Only the one.
Only the one? Right, you won't know this then. Do you know what Tascendo Ignosimus means? No.
Not quite.
No. Okay, state school. So, if you don't remember, Tascendo Ignosimus, as we all remember from Latin, it translates to, it is by being silent that we forgive. Which is an odd motto for a school, but I did some more research and it turns out the school's Catholic. Right. Get on board now. It's going to be a long hour. Anyway, I don't have a kid, so I replied back straight away. I said, "Dear school, thank you for your email. I've spoken to Barnabas, and it sounds like the other kid had it coming. Snitches get stitches. Law of the jungle. I stand by my boy. Best Mr. Dundas," right? It came from a mailing list. I thought I'd be fine. I got an email 2 minutes later. It said, "Dear Mr. Dundas, I've had your email regarding the detention forwarded to me, and I'm a little confused. Barnabas was set at detention for flicking glue across the classroom during art. No other students were involved. Hope this clears it up. Mr. Rendell." And then in brackets it said head of year 6. And I thought, I think Mr. Rendell has it out for my boy. I replied back straight away, "Dear Mr. Rendell, no other students were involved, you say. Who do you think sold him the glue? At least he's not sniffing it. Do better. Best Mr. Dundas," right? And I thought, this will be fine. He'll figure out it's a joke. I didn't get a reply for about a week. And then I got this reply last Friday at about 3:30 p.m. It said, "Dear Mr. Dundas, I don't quite understand what you're implying by your email, but I think it's worth a discussion. I'm aware it's last minute, but considering you're coming in tonight anyway, for Barnabas's parent-teacher evening at 5. Why don't I just meet you in the playground at 4:45 and we can smooth this whole thing over? See you soon, Mr. Rendell. And then again underneath it said, Tascendo Ignosimus. And I thought, why don't we meet in the playground at 4:45? I think Mr. Rendell's going to beat the shit out of Mr. Dundas. I got this at 3:30, right? He wants to beat the shit out of Mr. Dundas in the playground at 4:45. Barnabas's parent-teacher evening is at 5 p.m. I replied at about 3:50, and I realized I have two options. I could either get dressed, and I could go to the school, but then that might lead to prison, or I'm too pretty for prison. So I decided I gotta sort this out. For Barnabas. I said, Dear Mr. Rendell, I apologize for my belligerence and my humor over email. It's not a laughing matter, but I couldn't help it. I guess I use jokes to avoid dealing with trauma. That bit was just for me, to be honest. And then I doubled down. I said, you see, Mr. Rendell, my father, Mr. Barnabas Dundas Sr., after whom young Barnabas is named, sadly passed away last week. He's not real. I've not taken it well. Please don't mention my emails when we meet later. Mrs. Dundas and I have had a tough year, and I fear this might be the final straw that pushes us into full separation. I hope we can act like this whole ordeal never happened. As my late father used to say, Tascendo Ignosimus. It is by being silent that truly we forgive. And I think I dealt with that situation in the best way possible. No, this has been a tough show to write. I'm not fully privileged, by the way. I want to put that out there. I'm like Oscar. Somewhat of a muggle. I'm only half posh, but unfortunately it's a dominant gene. It's like baldness. I'm half posh, half Catholic, by the way. Which is the worst combination. Half posh, half Catholic. I call everyone father. And that's tough. Like, it's been a tough year for the Catholics. Earlier this year, the Pope died. And then, what's worse than that? We got an American Pope, which is the worst possible. Oh, have you seen Pope Leo? We've now got a Pope that probably legally owns a gun. We've got a school shooter Pope. Pope, 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 Pope. Nobody wants an American Pope. The Vatican News, which is one of my favorite outlets, the day Pope Leo was elected, they wrote an article and they called him the least American of all Americans. And they put that in the pro column for why he should be Pope. I think that's a good call. You don't want like an all-American Pope. Like Donald Trump tweeted a picture of himself as Pope. And some people genuinely thought he might run. You don't want like Trump. He's the most American of all Americans. Trump puts the SA in USA. Right, switch on. Trump can't be Pope. Trump's 79 years old. He's too young. Trump can't be Pope. All of Trump's allegations were made by women. Oh, read a book. Come to my shows if you don't know anything. I'm aware it's a bit hacky to take the piss out of the Catholic Church. I'm not the first comedian to make jokes about the Catholic Church. However, I am the first comedian that is legally old enough to be a priest, but looks more like a victim. No, I grew up Catholic. I've got some family members that are still Catholic, and, you know. I grew up during that whole scandal. I remember my priest at the time, he that's not the joke, but that's what the rest of you could be doing, to be honest. Think ahead. I remember when that whole scandal came out, my priest at my church told me that it's fine because every priest that did something wrong was adequately punished. Now, I'm not sure if that's true, but I did some research, I looked into it, and the most common punishment handed out by Pope Francis was called a life of prayer and penance, right? No, and that's a real punishment handed out by the Vatican court, which is one of my favorite courts. And if you don't know what that entails, the definition of a life of prayer and penance is you have to dedicate the rest of your life to spiritual development, confession, and prayer. Now, I thought that was the job. In the first place, the punishment can't be the same as the crime. That's ridiculous. That's like last year, I don't know if you saw in Wandsworth prison, there was that female police officer that had sex with the inmate. Yeah, you're nodding like you've got it on your phone. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a female police officer at Wandsworth prison. She had sex with an inmate, and she obviously lost her job. It went viral on Twitter. And then about 2 months ago over summer, she was sentenced to 15 months in jail. Right. The punishment can't be the same as the crime. If we have priests having sex with kids in churches, we can't lock them in church. If we have a female police officer having sex with inmates, we can't lock her back in prison. What are we going to do to P. Diddy? We can't lock him in the Johnson's baby oil factory. Okay, we found the line. We found the line. Good. Good, the P. Diddy stuff's gone well. I feel bad taking the piss out of the church because I actually had a really good time. I went to church every Sunday for about 10 years. My mum took me to church. My mum doesn't really believe in God, she just likes going to church. She finds them very calming places. My mum kind of took me to church the same way country folk take their dogs to the pub. My mum would kind of drag me along and then be like, there's not a lot in here for you. But it's cruel to leave you in the car. So I went every Sunday for 10 years, and I had a lot of fun. If anything, I had too much fun. I'll give you an example. To pass the time at Mass, me and my friends, we used to like to play a game called, Can You Get the Priest to Lick Your Fingers? No. Hold on. You don't even know the rules. Right, if you're not Catholic, I should explain. Halfway through Mass, you go and collect communion. And that is when you go and collect the body of Christ. Which part of the body? They never explain. It's more of a mixed meat stew situation. That's why it's free, okay? And me and my friends, we used to go up, and there's two ways to collect communion. Any good Catholic knows this. The first way to collect communion is you can go up like a beggar, and you can lap it up like a cat, right? That's second base communion. Third base communion is, and they never explain why, you can go up to the priest hands by your side, mouth open, and just kind of let the priest play you like a slot machine. So me and my friends, we used to compete to see who could go up with the smallest aperture. And still get the priest to, you know when you're going for that final Pringle in the Pringle can, kind of. So I used to go up every Sunday like Katie Price after shit Botox, just... I'm just saying, looking back on that whole scandal, I think the kids might have been part of the problem. No, I am privileged. That's tough. It is. It's a burden. It's tough. You wouldn't understand. You couldn't walk a day in my Gucci loafers. They're tailor-made. No, it is tough. It's tough having all the things. I wish I could just be like you for a day, but I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. We all have our purpose, and it's tough. Mo money, mo problems. That's what my grandfather used to say. He did. My grandfather, by the way, posh man, but he was my hero. He was my hero. My grandfather lost both his legs during World War II, deep in French territory. Terrible skiing accident. Awful. He could have gone down the Black Run, he went off-piste instead. Oh. Great skier, terrible racist. And it is, it's tough. I was talking to another comic about it. It's tough, there's not a lot of representation in the 0.1%. It's tough. It's tough. I was talking to a Chinese comedian, they were saying there's not enough Chinese comedians. I agree. But, I looked it up, and only 8% of the UK is Asian. And then I also looked up that only 7% of the UK went to private school. No, I'm just saying it makes you think, who's the real minority? I'm just saying, and posh people, we get called slurs too. I get called posho, and Tory and landlord. And it doesn't hurt any less just because it's true. Nepo baby, that's the new one. Nepo baby, what a horrible word. Nepo baby. Nepo baby, the N-word. Nepo baby. Oh, no. That word has held our people back for literally 3 years. Nepo baby. I get called a Nepo baby. It's horrible. First time I did my first ever gig at this club, Top Secret Comedy Club, another comedian started a rumor that the only reason I'd been booked by Top Secret was because my parents had made a donation to the comedy club. You can't make a donation to the comedy club. It's not like how I got into Harvard. My parents didn't make a donation to the comedy club. They bought a minority stake in a promising business. And that is an investment made by a minority. It's tough. It's really tough being privileged. It is, Well, you don't read about it in The Guardian, but no matter how many times I email. People make a lot of assumptions. I feel like the way posh people are portrayed in the media, like... Did anybody see the film Saltburn? Came out last year? Yeah. Okay, fuck you in the corner. Giggling like a villain. Jesus Christ. Saltburn was an interesting portrayal of posh people. And everyone assumes, oh, you must have loved that film, finally, bit of representation in TV. I didn't. I hated Saltburn. I really did. I had to move out of my bedroom for 2 weeks whilst they filmed that. And people make assumptions because of that film. People watch that film and then they come up to me and they go, oh, well, you can only afford to do comedy because you're bankrolled by your dad. And that's not true at all. I've got a wealthy dad. My mum's rich. Hold on, that's a big difference. Rich dad, bad. Rich mum, kind of progressive. Sure, I might have been a spoiled kid, but at least I'm a feminist, am I right? My mum's a housewife in the sense she owns my house. Probably your house too. If you're not laughing, you've got to think, do you not find those jokes funny, or do you just hate successful women? The one thing they did get right in that film, though, is that posh people are not allowed to have feelings. And that is true. Privileged people are not allowed to have feelings. You know, you guys can... You probably have loads of feelings. Not me. Not me. I had a feeling as a child, but... I did. I loved that feeling. Dad took it to the garden and shot it, so... That is the nichest joke of the show, by the way. No, I agree with that. That's the one sentiment I do agree with. Like, I don't think privileged people should be allowed to feel things. I don't think privileged people should be allowed to be sad. I think you agree with me as well. I don't know if any of you have like a posh or a privileged friend that has, say, recently lost a grandparent. But it's very hard to feel bad when you know that they are now financially better off. Do you know what I mean? You go over to comfort them and you're like, oh, Tilly. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about Mima. Oh. She just leaves behind a wealth of memories. It's hard. You go over to Tilly's new flat and you're like, oh, I didn't know Mima was packing all this. People come over, they go, I'm so sorry for your loss. What about Tilly's profit, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, she's in a better place. I don't think so. Mima had a 2-bed flat in Mayfair. Now she's in a box. I'm just saying it's easier to grieve on a balcony. I also want to make it clear that I didn't realize how privileged I was growing up because I went to an all-boys boarding school. And usually gets a round of applause, but whatever. I'm a survivor. No, Okay, this is going to be a tough sell. I didn't realize how privileged I was growing up because I went to an all-boys boarding school and everyone around me was privileged. So I didn't realize, right? Which is kind of the same way Jeffrey Epstein didn't realize he was a pedophile. Because he worked in wealth management. So everyone around him was a too. Do you understand? I feel like you've pulled back. I'm aware that's a harsh Venn diagram, by the way. Posh, pedophile, Prince Andrew right in the middle. It's all right, I can make that joke. I look enough like Lady Diana. It's fine. Lady Diana, the original passenger princess. Now. Oh, grow up. Too soon? Too soon. 20 years. Lady Diana, the inventor of the French exit. Now. I should have filmed it at 11 p.m. You're right. No, I turned 18, I realized how privileged I was. I had to change some things. I had to give up on some dreams. That was tough. Up until the age of 18, I had wanted to be a rapper. I did. I wanted to be a South London drill rapper, but I turned 18, I realized I'll never be a rapper because at school, all my teachers were too supportive. So. All my ops were opportunities. Get this silver spoon out of my mouth and bring me a knife, I used to say. And I did. I turned 18, I moved to London, I realized I sound like a freak to you kind, simple people. And it was tough because I do have the right opinions. I just look like a UKIP voter. And that's tough because people always assume I'm on their side. Like I sometimes get people DMing me and they're like, oh, Alfie, why don't you do a joke about the boats and immigration? What are your thoughts on the immigration crisis? And I don't really know if it's my place to make jokes about that particular crisis, right? A lot of my closest friends spend their gap years sailing around the Med. And also, I have the right opinions. I'm on the right side. I have empathy for anyone coming over here. I wanted to look into it, though, because I realized that might be a kind of liberal naivety. So I looked into it in 2024. 38,000 people came to the UK via small boats, right? And I thought that is a big number. But then I read that in the same year, 40,000 people emigrated to Dubai. Now that is a trade I am willing to make. A lot of the people coming over here, they join the NHS, they become teachers. Every single one going to Dubai is a PT. Oh no, who's going to teach us how to bench? Oh, who's going to harass our women in clubs? Oh no, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And people come up to me and they go, yeah, but Alfie, some of the people coming over here, they don't really speak English properly. And I go, neither do the PTs. Have you spoken to one of them recently? I see those protests going down, you know, people going down to the shore with a sign that says, stop the boats. Don't do that. Go to your local Pure Gym. Turn that sign around. Book the flight. We can save this country. But I do, I have the right opinions, and that is difficult with all of this privilege. It's hard to be privileged and woke. You know what I mean? It's hard to read up on all the issues just to discover you are the problem. Do you know what I mean? I'm always the first one to the protest because I get there in an Uber exec. That's a hard sell. I was at Bristol University, which is a very activist-y city, in 2020. And I was there during the Black Lives Matter movement. And I was part of the student group that brought down the statue of Edward Colston. And then we chucked it in the river. Do you guys remember that? And then we went back to our uni halls and we watched on the news as all over the UK they were bringing down statues. And then it cut to Edinburgh where they were bringing down a statue with my surname on it. That I didn't know existed. At first I was all hyped the statues were coming down, then it zoomed in on one of the faces and I was like, ah, fuck. That looks familiar. That statue doesn't have a top lip, what the? To begin with, I was like, yeah, the statues are coming down. Towards the end, I started to go, oh crap, Grandpa's had a fall. It's tough, and it was tough. I didn't know that side of the family, but I felt very guilty about that. I think it was the Catholic guilt kind of kicked in, and I wanted to overcompensate, so I'll leave you with this. By the end of 2025, I vow to you all that I will become the most woke man in London. And that's hard, because this is where all the woke people are. Which means I now have to go and out-woke the woke, right? They're playing woke checkers, I'm playing woke chess. It's like regular chess, but all the pieces are black queens. And I've got to beat them. I've got to beat them in woke chess. So now I go to the protest and I saddle up next to them. And they go, fuck the system. And I go, not without the system's consent. It's a smart move. Guys, that's the end of my show. Thank you very, very much for coming out. It wasn't that good, Jesus Christ.